Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Simonson, and I'm coming to you with a very interesting set of questions today. So, what if you could be in business in Europe in less than 30 days with no European entity, no VAT headaches, no forms, no employees, and virtually no risk? What if you could prove that your product has value in the European marketplace and all of the marketplace in Europe, by the way, all five of them, without the pain of entering the market with all the compliance and headaches that go with it? Maybe this question will intrigue you. What if there is a resource that could actually create five different languages? Your listing is then optimized in five different languages, created, and they will also monitor those listings day to day. They'll even manage your sponsored products, and they'll do all of that for a cost that's less than a strong virtual assistant. So let me just tell you what's happening. We've found this resource. They kind of can be the tip of the spear for your entry into Europe. Very strategic, very smart, very innovative. We've talked about, this idea, kind of all the questions I ask you leading into this, including the question of, what if we could solve all of this right now with, again, no hassle and virtually no risk. And this resource is really, really exceptional from my opinion and has a high potential ROI. So here's some of the stuff that they will do. Let's break it down how it kind of works. They will help you get your product imported, and they will manage the incoming VAT, and they're even the importer of record for your product. They will create your optimized listings for the five EU main marketplaces, which means five different languages, right? French, Italian, German, Spanish, and English. They will oversee the FBA inbound process. Once your product gets imported into Europe, they'll make sure that it gets into the proper FBA centers as well. They will oversee getting your product live and getting those listings live. They will deal with any Brexit headaches that may come up here in 2019 without you having to worry about those details. They'll manage and monitor the listings day to day to be sure that they're optimized and set for each country to be prepared for sale. They'll even manage your sponsored products within the same base contract. And I think that's an important thing. There is a little bit of an add-on if you want to do some of the more advanced AMS stuff. That's a little more creative stuff versus the management of sponsored products. And there's some collaboration required there, but just the fact that you have this resource at such an extraordinary value to me is really remarkable. They will also report and pay all of your net profits, all of the I say net profits, but I want to be clear that, the product you sell is sold at retail. Obviously, there's Amazon fees. There's some VAT reconciliation that happens, right? What you paid on the import will be credited towards what's the buyer pays when you sell. All of that's handled. You don't have to worry about it, but your net proceeds will be reported and managed by them and sent to you basically on a couple-week basis. So you see, when I talk money, I start to get excited. So the fact that they will, kind of manage that and send all of that with full transparency on a regular basis, I think is a high value. By the way, they're experienced in doing this. They already do this. They have their own accounts and things like that. So they get what's happening, and they're just kind of here to help us, dip our toe in the water and test out, is Europe worthwhile for our products? And finally, not only are they monitoring the fulfillment centers, they're going to look for customer service issues. They're managing the customer service day to day as well. If somebody has an issue or return or whatever, they're going to be there to help. And again, that may require some collaboration from you regarding the product usage needs, whatever it is, but they're there on the front lines to help you day to day. And finally, they'll communicate with you about the strategic needs that your product or products may have as they relate to Europe. That's very, very valuable stuff, and it's a perspective that you may not actually have yet. Here's what they won't do. They will not take a cut of every sale. They work on a flat fee monthly basis, and it's so reasonable. I'll be honest with you, it's almost hard to say no. This is one of the reasons why the Empowery e-commerce cooperative is vetting this resource, because it's very attractive, it's very compelling, and quite innovative. And I love entrepreneurs, so when I see these types of things, I do get really excited. They will not compete against you, by the way. They will sign a non-compete on your item so that you're not just introducing your item and suddenly it goes great, and next thing you know, they're selling. They won't do it. and they will not bring any products in that they don't think are viable in the EU. So this is not just a, hey, whoever shows up, they take them on. In fact, it's quite limited. And they will look at it and go, hey, you don't have the CE certificates for your electronic item, or this item is illegal in these countries, or whatever it is. They're not your lawyers, but they'll look at it and say, after a quick review, if they think the product's viable, and they will walk away if it's not. Again, I like that. I like the ethics there. And they will, they are not going to create problems for you. They're going to solve problems. So this sort of thing is not super scalable because it relies on a ton of handholding. You can't really automate inbound VAT stuff, into the UK or into Europe. There's so many of these pieces that are just humans touching it. And they have to manage this process and all these humans. And so it is not something that we can, just say, hey, good news, we have 100 openings. It's literally, 8 to 10 openings now, and I'm not sure how many in the future. But anybody who knows me is I don't deal with fake FOMO. This is a real thing. This is no fake FOMO. I hate that stuff. So why am I talking about this? Empowery is vetting this resource. We think it's a good idea. We think it's very compelling. And the cost is ridiculously low. A strong VA should cost you a reasonable amount of money. I'm not talking about the $1.79 an hour person in Bangladesh who can't really do hardly anything for you beyond, they have great value in sometimes graphic arts and sometimes other things, but not customer service, certainly not VAT or legal compliance. You get a really strong resource for way less than a full-time employee. Extraordinary value, in my humble opinion. If you do like it and you're like, I just need to know how much it costs, or I'm intrigued, but I have these questions, go ahead and ask those questions. Get on over to empowery.com/contact and just, put in the EU strategy and just ask your questions, and Spencer and Melissa and, Megan and Sherry and whoever's on the team, they can help organize getting those answers to you. I just want to say that this appears to be a very unique and stable solution for non-EU sellers who want to dip their toe in the European market without jumping off the cliff of pan-EU registration. You don't have to do that. And so if you can get into Europe with, literally, you could be into Europe in 30 days or less with this concept without any fear of VAT or paperwork or multi-country registration, and by the way, still be 100% compliant with the law, right? This is like the best of both worlds, and it's, to me, the lowest possible risk way somebody can enter the EU market. I don't know how long these slots will last. They haven't been pledged to me. I haven't committed to them. I don't get paid for any of this. I'm just a volunteer for Empowery, helping along the way. Empowery is, the nonprofit e-commerce cooperative, and it's there to help entrepreneurs. And that's the mission. I love entrepreneurs, and that's why we're doing it. If you are interested in, entering Europe, ranking in Europe, selling and scaling in Europe, I definitely want to hear your feedback. And I'll tell you, if this concept works, this is your tip of the spear. This is the entry point. As you scale and grow, then it would be appropriate for you to go get the registrations and start getting into it a little bit more. And we have resources, for launching and ranking and more, substantial ongoing customer service and big volume. We have a way, to kind of start here, validate the idea, and then scale and grow it even larger and larger. So many fun things here. I love this idea. I would be thrilled to hear your feedback, even if you disagree with me, which I can't imagine anyone would, but let's just say it happens. I'd love to hear the feedback. Please share it with us, and thank you for your time.